Welcome to Red Zone Sports. It's our Circa show. I just want to start this off by just making it very clear to everybody, if you were listening to our DFS show, that we're an anti-lube podcast, anti-baby oil podcast. If anyone got confused, we're an anti. We have an X.
Anti.
So tune into the last show if you're confused.
If you're curious about where that came from, then just go watch the DFS show. You'll understand.
Right around the 43-minute mark, yeah.
Very anti.
Coconut oil outlawed too?
Pro player for fantasy, anti-lube, anti-baby oil. Just being very clear on that.
Coconut oil flies. That's all natural, baby.
Can we get two votes on that, Joe?
2 votes?
Coconut oil? Is that okay?
Organic only.
Yeah, if it's organic, it's fine.
Okay. All right. On to week 3.
All right.
Okay. Well, we kind of had a rough week last week with a few bad beats. I don't know if you want to recap some of these beats. The Houston one, I mean, just the sheer fact that we lost that by a half a point because somebody fumbled on the 1 yard line to close out the game for us. That hurt. So that was a backdoor cover on the other side. That really screwed us. And honestly, I've kind of blacked out what our picks were. I know I got drilled on my Lions bet, I think.
My Niners bet did not win.
The Niners and Lions both just came out flat, and they just did not do it for us. So.
Niners bet didn't hit. I think the only one after a really bad week one was I hit the Chargers, which we were all kind of on that.
Well,
but
so we're all technically 1-1.
Yeah. Texans, sure. Niners, Lions, and then we had the Jags, which let's just round about that because my pick this week is locking in with the Bills at home, minus 5.5.
There goes my pick.
The Jaguars just look absolutely horrific. I know people are distracted by the Panthers. The Jaguars are one of the worst teams that I've seen so far this season.
All right.
They cannot score. Bad. It's kind of a problem. So they have to go up to Buffalo, Monday Night Football. There's going to be tables broken by the thousands up there at that point. Give me Josh Allen to blow these guys out.
All right.
I
Joe?
like it. I'm not against it. I am going to go with the Chargers plus 1.5. I have Harbaugh fever. I think all of Los Angeles does. This dude has this team. This dude has the team playing on a different level. And look, they stayed on the East Coast after the Panthers. They did not come back to the West Coast, so
that's
they're
a big
acclimated to the
Harbaugh
time.
Big
and he made it very clear. He brought some board games for the team. So they're going to do a lot of R&R and the team hanging out together. And I think they come out here. Look, this game is going to be dirty. It's going to be ugly. It's going to finish with a last-second field goal. Chargers plus 1.5. The Steelers defense is amazing, but I think the Chargers defense is built very similar, and the Chargers defense is healthy right now, and they're playing really well. So I just trust the Chargers offense doing a little bit more than what the Steelers offense is capable of doing, and I just got to keep riding this Chargers wave.
Better quarterback too. Yeah.
I mean, I think that right now. It's at plus 1.5. I think that by the time the Lions come out tomorrow, it'll probably be plus 2, maybe even 2.5. It was minus 1 earlier today when I looked, and it's already, it was plus 1 earlier today when so I would say that Circa is going to move it probably to 2 when they lock it tomorrow. I like that one, Joe. Mine is I'm going to be going Colts at home, laying 1.5, so minus 1.5. They're at home. The Bears aren't very good. Bears got a good defense, but the Colts are just going to run the shit out of the ball, and the Bears' run defense is probably the weakest part of their defense. They have a pretty good secondary. They got a good pass rush, but their rushing defense is just not very good. So Colts only laying 1.5 at home. That's something I can get behind, and I like that for my pick. So we got our 3 picks right there.
Yep.
Who else do we have?
First nomination.
Okay, let's hear it.
First nomination is the Ravens at the Cowboys. I'm sticking with the narrative. The Cowboys are just not the team everyone thinks they are at this point. The Ravens are absolutely back against the wall. 0-2. You look in the DFS pod, we're pretty hot on Lamar, Derrick Henry, and a couple of those options. I think the Ravens, I just don't see John Harbaugh coming out and going 0-3 here. I think he wills this team and gets them in the right spot to win this ball game. And at just -1 on the road just shows you that they're already they're favored on the road. And -1, you might as well just be a pick 'em. So give me the Ravens for the dub here. That's my first nomination.
Okay, so Joe wants Ravens. Then who do you want?
I was leaning towards Seattle -4.5 at home. We know it's a tough place to go play up there. Did they announce is it officially Skylar Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay. That guy's horrific. And I'm sorry,
he's not good.
If there's
he's like Ryan Tannehill light. That's what I see when I see him
if
play.
you go against, McDonald up there in the new DC and Seattle's flying around, they're 2-0. Now they're coming home. Like that place again is going to be rocking. I just don't see how the Dolphins offense like keeps up here in a sense. Like this guy's just not good. And two of their main pieces are speed receivers that you need to hit like accurately or deep down the field. And I don't know, man. I just think Seattle rocks these guys here.
All right.
It's a bad situation for Miami.
The one I'm going to nominate was almost my regular pick. I have actual money. Well, I'm going to put actual money on this. I'm going to wait to see how much more points I can get. But right now, I mean, I think this is going to be +4 by tomorrow, but it's the Falcons at home getting points. Right now, it's +3.5. I know it's the Chiefs, and everyone wants to fucking blow the Chiefs, but look, I mean, they just haven't looked very good. Now they're without their running back.
Mm-hmm.
They're going into Atlanta. Atlanta is going to have a nice little boost from that comeback win. I think that they can throw the ball quite a bit on the Chiefs, as we saw, Yoshivas catch 2 touchdowns for the Bengals last week.
And Cousins finally started to look better, obviously, towards the end of that game on Monday night.
I mean, he did. These guys don't play in preseason, okay? So, these guys don't play in preseason. I don't know what you're really expecting them, especially coming off an injury.
I mean,
right?
He hasn't played in
it's -115 right now. When Circa locks tomorrow, I have to imagine it's going to be +4. I just think that we have to take advantage of that big of a home dog for a good team, right? It's Sunday Night Football. It's primetime Kirk, whatever. But, I just think that that's a spot where, the Chiefs could still win the game. But I think that the Falcons are going to cover. What do you guys think?
If that gets the 4, I wouldn't, mind that. Because then you cover your ass a little bit with, just more than a field goal. You know what I mean? Okay. I guess 3.5 would as well, but that 4 number, I think is it makes a big difference,
Joe, what do you think?
It's tough. I like the Falcons. Yeah. Look, I like the Falcons.
All right. So the Falcons
is so good. It's just hard for me to just take the Seahawks anytime at a -4.5 right now. I like that that team is a way tougher team than the Seahawks, but 4.5 I just feel is too many points for Geno Smith. It's just scaring me away a little bit.
Okay,
I'm locked in on the Ravens pick. What do you guys think about the Ravens pick before we decide on the fifth?
I mean, I was going to nominate the Cowboys.
Okay, so I'll be. It just serves as a neutral.
That shouldn't deter us though, because last week I was on the Cardinals, you were on the Rams, so we just X'd the game.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that's where we go. I would lean Ravens as well. I just think they're a better.
If you guys have conviction on the Ravens, I'm fine with that.
No, but my caveat also is though, part of my narrative is I just don't I'm actively biased against the Cowboys. So you got to take that.
Here's another
devalue my vote a little there.
Here's another one that I had starred. I know they played well and they beat the Niners last week. Are we just overvaluing the 2-0 Vikings too much? They're getting 1.5 points at home. I like the Texans on that side at -1.5.
Yeah, the Texans they play Sunday night,
and it's in Minnesota, huh? The Skull.
Yep. The Sam Darnold, fuckfest is going to have to end sooner or later. I mean, I mean, everyone is just like he's playing well. Give it to him, but hasn't thrown. We haven't seen. We saw maybe one of those interceptions in the Niners game. It didn't really hurt him that much, but I mean, I just think that if you look at those two teams, the Texans are the much better team. And they're going on the road, but it's indoors. I think that the Texans. I don't know. I just the talent between the two teams, and this is why we picked against them last week, right? But now the Texans only have to cover 1.5 points, and I don't think it's going to change by tomorrow. So for me, it would be either the Texans or the Seahawks. But you guys don't like the.
Well, you mean
Joe doesn't like the Seahawks.
But you nominated the Falcons.
Well, yeah, I thought we were in agreement on that. We still got to make one more pick.
Oh, I was on the Ravens. So, and Vinny, I thought you were on the Ravens too. So I don't know. We got a few choices here.
Like I said, I'm fine. If you guys are both cool with the Ravens, I'll roll with that.
But let's just talk through them real quick. I mean, Joe, you really like him for DFS. Do you think Denver covers that 6.5?
Oh God!
In Tampa,
Tampa's
kind of rolling right now. I'm a little bit
exactly.
scared.
I'm not going to bet on. I'm not going to bet on Denver. That's a full-on DFS play.
The other one that's interesting is if Jordan Love plays. I like the Packers to win this game. Tennessee's not very good. The Packers are at least a well-run.
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
But I need to know Jordan Love's going to play because I don't think what Malik Willis did last week is repeatable.
Well, we don't have to lock our picks until Saturday at 4.
That's what I'm saying. Right. If I'm just saying throwing this down there, if Jordan Love gets ruled in and that number locks tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to. I don't think it may change to +2, but I don't think it's going to change much from what it is right now. There's no juice on either side of it. It's just it's -105 on each side.
I'm just saying if he gets ruled in, I like it quite a bit.
Okay, I could be fine with that if he's in. Joe, what about you?
That's fine. I'm super undecided on the Titans right now. They play good defense and everything, but I don't know. They're just such a middling to low middling team that I'm not with. I can't bet on the Titans, so
yeah,
I'm definitely not against that pick.
I get it.
Okay, so here's where we're at. So
are we gonna short the Eagles here and ride the car train down the bayou?
I mean, I don't hate it.
I really think Sirianni's a terrible, terrible coach.
You think they're just in complete shambles?
Dude, they're just broken as a team. Saquon never drops that pass. Something's broken in that building. I think you have two coordinators actively trying to cost Sirianni his job so one of them gets promoted. It's like Game of Thrones in that franchise right now.
Actually, don't
out again.
I'm just waiting for the Saints to.
You think the car train just crashes?
Well, it's going to happen eventually. Again, it could be happening later in the season. I just don't know.
So let's go with this. Let's go. So I'm on Colts -1.5. Joe, you're on Chargers +1.5. Then has the Bills at -5.5. We've all agreed that the Falcons +3.5, and then our toss-up right now is. It's between. We got to find out if Jordan Love plays. If Jordan Love plays, I do like the Packers at +1.5 on the road. But if he doesn't play, I actually don't hate the Saints because I think that'll drop to -2.5.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna just make one more argument for it, then I'm done. But do you really see the Ravens dropping to 0-3 to start the season?
I don't think Lamar is very good.
I agree with you.
He's a fine runner and everything like that. But here's some other weird shit that's going on. Justin Tucker missing field goals. Guy used to be fucking odd. That was their massive crutch to that team. Is that didn't matter if it was 51, 56, 58. He was just banging fucking 50-yarders home. He's now 1 for his last 8 on his last 8 attempts over 50 yards.
It's actually a really interesting point that not a lot of people talk about. It's and in other aspect, you have Aubrey on the other side in Dallas that can't miss.
The guy's fucking automatic. So I just don't. I just
in a game Dallas that's a 1-point game.
And Dallas got embarrassed at home last week. I just don't see them losing another game at home. That's my only thing.
I know. I can see the arguments on both sides of this.
It's too contentious. So let's take that one out.
Okay. So So we're waiting to hear the Jordan Love news. If Jordan Love is in, I think the Packers at +1.5, maybe +2 by the time it locks tomorrow is a good pick. And if not,
or again, I could also get behind the Texans. So we'll decide between the Packers, the Texans.
We'll wait for some news to come out. But our locked-in picks are Colts -1.5, Chargers +1.5, Bills -5.5, and Falcons +3.5, which I think is going to be 4 by tomorrow. And then we'll wait on some news and we'll go there. You got to follow us on Twitter to find out who our fifth team is.
And just for the record, I'm out of the 2 Texans and Packers. I'm leaning Texans.
Okay,
that's who I'd prefer at the moment.
Okay, I would be fine with. I'm fine with either.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to lock him in. We can't lock him in right now because I'm in California and the Lions aren't on. So
there you go. Gotcha. All right.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, no lube, no baby oil. All right, guys. Good luck with your picks.
Coconut oil.